everyone, thank you for clicking on this and welcome to the Book Genre Queen video. I know it's been quite some time since I've videoed everything. Just a lot of stuff, stress and everything with the coronavirus and just starting to work from home because of it, and then just life happens. So that's basically what my life has been. And so for this one, I'm going to actually go through all the books that I've read. And also I'm going to kind of change things up a little bit with this channel. I've noticed that picking from the little mug that I have hasn't been the most effective because I don't really have money to buy books. And so I go off the library to download the ebooks on my Kindle. And the thing is when I pick a book, it's not always readily available. So then I have to choose again, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of using that mug. So instead, I'm just going to kind of think of a genre, look up, little plots of each one, and see what's interesting to me, and then go ahead and see if it's available. If not, then choose a different one. So for this time, again, I'm just going to go over the books that I have read since my last video, which I am impressed is quite a few, howbeit easy books and kind of just basic entertaining books, as you could say. So let's get into it. So the first book that I would like to talk about happens to be the one that was on my list of books to read. So I'll start with those three books first, which is The Princess Saves Herself in this one, and then Great Goddesses, basically poetry about Greek gods and stuff. And then the next one I'm going to do a review on Starless Sea. So the first one was The Princess Saves Herself in this one. That's the first one I read. This is a poetry book. And it's about, the poetry is about a girl's experience in life, and basically how she went through all these hardships and difficulties, and in the end she found out that she's the one that had the strength in herself to be able to combat those fears. I really enjoyed the poetry. I thought it was simple. It wasn't I guess you call it free verse. I really enjoy free verse. That's kind of the poetry I like to write. And the only issue I had with the poetry is that I found it too short, which is not fair because it's a poetry book and sometimes poetry books are short, and that's just the way things are. But I just felt like she could have done a little bit more poems to express what different things happened in her life. I felt it was kind of a basic level of what her life has been like, and not more depth that I kind of wish that was put within that. So there's that book. The next one is The Great Goddesses. I really enjoyed the first 50 pages. Again, this is about the Greek goddesses in, Greek mythology. And it's just going over each goddess and doing little poetry about them, kind of put in from their point of view, which I found interesting. And the first 50 pages I found breathtaking with the writing. There's parts where it's kind of poetry, parts where it's kind of like paragraphs a little bit, to give you kind of a feel of who this Greek goddess is, which is fair because not everybody knows. And I enjoyed it. But then after the first 50 pages, it became monotonous. It was basically the same concept, same point of view for each goddess that was coming up, except for Hades and Persephone. I like that one. That was a good one. But all the other ones just seemed very generic. Like, okay, this sounds like the other Greek goddess that we just heard about. This sounds like her experience again. And it didn't really, I think, differentiate between the different goddesses after the 50 pages, which I had to finish the book. So I did. It's about 200 somewhat pages, so that was 150 pages of, oh my gosh, it's the same thing again. So, beautiful writing, beautiful, kind of introduction to Greek goddesses, but I felt after a while it didn't really show much depth with each individual one. The next one was Starless Sea. Oh my goodness. This book is beautifully written. The plot line, I couldn't really figure out, honestly. Even at the end of the book, I was like, what was this about? It's kind of mystic, kind of, I don't know, pulled you in, really pulled you in. So it's basic plot, if there is a plot within this book, is it's about this boy who discovers a door when he's a little kid that's on a wall, and it looks like it's painted, but he feels like he can actually go through it. And so when he is young, he's thinking, should I go through it? Should I not go through it? He ultimately decides not to, and he continues on. When he grows up, he finds this book. And in this book, it has all these beautifully written stories that he finds are just stories. And he loves to read. He is majoring in games. I can't remember the specific area in video games, but in a video game area, sorry, it's not, I don't remember the specific part of it, but he's majoring in that. But he loves reading, loves going to the library, is just a reader. And he gets this book, and in this book there's a story about a boy who comes to a wall, and in that wall he decides not to go through that door. And he knows that story is about him, and so he becomes intrigued, and he starts searching about this book and everything, and it's hard to find more information about it because it doesn't really have an author, it doesn't have a serial number where to find it, so he goes on this adventure trying to figure out what all these stories are about and everything, and it's super confusing as to what the whole plot is. What is the goal of this book? What is the goal of this? But I think in a sense it was kind of beautiful that it's the joy of the journey, not so much the ending. The ending was good, I can't deny it, but it was I was still confused as to what I just read. But it was a fun journey. I couldn't put it down. The writing's gorgeous. If you know Erin Morgenstein, I think is what her name is, she has beautiful writing, like absolutely gorgeous writing. And I loved reading it, but I'm still confused. I'll probably have to read it again to try to understand what in the world I just read. Alright, so the next two, I don't know if I really need to give the plot line for this. It was Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. I like Star Wars, like, a lot. I'm even wearing a Star Wars shirt right now, which you can't see, I know, but I'm wearing one. And, well, it's Star Wars, so of course I gave them 5 stars out of 5 stars. Oh, with the other 3, sorry. Starless Sea, 4 stars, because I didn't understand it at the end. Princess Saves Herself, I can't remember, it was 3 or 4, one of those two, and Great Goddesses, I gave it a 3, I believe. Okay, let's go back. So, with Star Wars, I really enjoyed these books. I listened to them audiobooks, which makes it 10 times better with Star Wars, because they have the sound effects, they have the different voices. It was just so much fun. And the fun thing about this too is that it expands on different parts of it. There's more dialogue, there's more explanation, and makes more sense with what's actually going on. So if you enjoy those movies, read them. Yes, I gave it 5 out of 5. Excuse me. Most people probably wouldn't. I like Star Wars. The only thing I don't like about Star Wars is the love story between Anakin and Padme, because it's the worst dialogue on the face of the planet. Other than that, I love everything else about Star Wars, even when people are like, well, this is inconsistent, this is stupid. I don't care. I just love it. We give it there. The next one I read, the next 3 I read were in 4 books in the series. I'm still waiting for the next one to come available to read it. And the first one is The Giver. I know lots of people have read this book. Lots of people enjoyed this book. I didn't know anything about this book, which is sad because there's also a movie about it. and lots of people know about it. I feel kind of silly that I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was about an old guy who gave stuff. Because you look at the picture. I mean, you look at the picture up there, and, you know, it's an old guy picture right there. I've been showing pictures throughout the video. I just haven't shown it to you. But anyway, it just... I feel stupid. That's what I thought it was about. But instead, it's about a young boy who lives in this utopia society, or is it utopia society, where, you know, it's in the future, post-apocalyptal, though I can't talk. Anyway, it's in the future. I don't know if there was apocalypse or not. See, I can say it there, but not the post-apocalypse. Yep, I could say the other one, though. So he is in the society where everybody's the same. Everything is kind of set forth in your life. Everything's regulated. Everything's perfect, you know. And at the age of 12, everybody's given their assignment for what they're going to do. Basically, their job that they're going to do for the rest of their life. And he is given this role of receiver. And basically what this role is that you have all the memories from the past. Every single thing from the past. And you use that wisdom from the past to help advise the advisors, I think they're called. That'd be funny if that's what they're called. Probably not. And he is being trained by the current receiver, and now he's not technically the receiver anymore, so the boy gives him the name of the giver, because he's giving him the memories, and through that he finds out how much has been taken away from the world. Hunger, sorrow, happiness, joy, beauty, just, back and forth, all because they wanted to get rid of the bad stuff, so they took away the good stuff and just make it all monotone. And it's really good. I really enjoyed it. I gave that one 5 out of 5. I enjoyed the writing. It's nice, simple, good book. It's shorter. I have no problem with shorter books if it's to the point, got it going. So I really enjoyed that one. And then the next one is Gathering Blue, which is the second in the Giver Quartet, which they all apparently come together in the end, which with the third one you can start seeing how they all come together. With Gathering Blue, it's about this girl who lives in another society in the same world. And in this society, it's very... if you have any sort of deformity, any sort of... I don't know if it's deformity is... well, yeah. Anything that's not useful for the society. Anything that's not going to contribute to anything. You are killed as a child, basically. Which is sad. And also, it's a very harsh society where it's very much everyone for themselves kind of thing. And this girl, she's born with a very bad leg. Her mother refuses for them to take her to kill her, and later finds out that she has this wonderful gift of being able to do cross-stitch, like really beautiful cross-stitch thread work that's beyond what normal people do. And later on, she's given the task of repairing this great robe that they have. This robe is supposed to represent the history of the world. And so she fixes it because it's, it starts to fray and stuff like that. And that's her job. And so she's given a nice room finally, food, comfort, everything like that. And then also she discovers different mysteries within the society as well. Different things about what happened. I mean, like her mother and father died, and kind of why that happened. And then also the reason it's called Gathering Blue is because the only thread that they cannot dye, the color wise, is blue, and so that's why it's called Gathering Blue. I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. The reason I did that not a 5 out of 5 like The Giver is just I didn't feel the society was as unique, as intriguing, just as, wow, this is so different, kind of, oh, this is so cool kind of thing. So that was Gathering Blue. The next one is The Messenger, or just Messenger. And this one is the third one in the quartet, and it's about this boy, I believe, oh my gosh, I could be wrong. Can't remember his name. I feel depressed. I think it's Matt. I could be completely wrong. Well, anyway, he lives in this actually really good society where lots of these people have come from these different other societies, like, the girl from Gathering Blue and the boy from The Giver, and they come to this area. They escape the people that have deformities, the people that are not accepted or having, hardships in life. They go to this place and they are, accepted. They have a place in the world. They're loved and everything like that. However, there's always a however. What happens is that people start trading away things to get other things, but the problem is they start trading away their best selves, and so people start not being loving, kind, and everything, and becoming more selfish and tyrannical or whatever like that. And it's interesting because this boy, he starts figuring all this stuff out, and he's just like, oh my goodness, what do we do? And it's just interesting to find how everything kind of corresponds. Like some characters from the Giver are in there, some characters from Gathering Blue are in there, and it's just starting to all come together. I gave that one 5 out of 5, and that ending, oh my goodness, my heart, it couldn't. You'll find out what I mean. It's just my heart. I cried. What can I say? But it was like hopeful and sad and loving and all this stuff, and you're just like, I don't know what to feel. I'm just crying. Anyway, it was really good, and I look forward to the next one. And currently, right now, while I wait for that book to become available, I am listening to, The Force Awakens. Of course, I'm loving it already. It's going to be a 5 out of 5 stars. Yes, I'm prejudiced, and yes, it's going to be that way, so it's just going to happen. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this kind of update video. I will try to be more consistent with updating my videos, hopefully. I also feel that I've been trying too hard to look good for the camera, putting on makeup, putting on fancy shirts and stuff, and just like, oh, don't really have to do this for the... I think that kind of has been deterring me from actually making the videos too, which is silly, but it is what it is. Because I don't wear makeup unless it's a very special occasion, like a wedding or a funeral or, something that's big. And I wear t-shirts most of the time, and they're mostly Star Wars, Harry Potter, different, nerdy t-shirts. So I'm just kind of a little tomboy nerd. What can I say? So I might as well embrace it and not try to be what I'm not on anything. So this is me, makeup free, fancy shirt free, just me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please do turn in next time to see what books I will be reading. I will be giving you an update on books that I have chosen to read. I might just do one each time I choose to read a book, so I don't forget. It might be a really short little video just saying, hey blurp, this is what I'm reading. How you guys doing? Well, thank you again for choosing this channel. Again, if you would please like and subscribe, and And that will probably motivate me to put more videos on too. Because then I know people actually are watching and enjoying somewhat of my craziness. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you later.